and today I'm here to do my April TBR, and this video is being sponsored in part by Disney Book Group. Now for the month of April, I have big plans for myself. I read 6 books in March, and I really feel like I can either replicate that or even do better. I just have the reading bug. I'm traveling a lot less, so I feel like I'm gonna have more time at home to read and film reading vlogs, so watch out for those. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive right into the TBR. So the first book I'm going to talk about is one of my most anticipated books of the year. So excited to finally have my hands on this book, and it is Arusha and the End of Time by Roshni Chokshi. Now this is the first book from the Rick Riordan Presents, which is all about sharing mythology stories from writers who are from that cultural area. So this is actually a Hindu mythology story, which just sounds so incredible. I'm also a huge fan of Roshni's other books that I've read by her, and obviously I'm a huge middle grade fantasy fan, so this is like right up my street on so many different levels. This follows our main character Arusha, who attends a private prep school, and basically to kind of keep up with the who's who in her classmates, she spends a lot of time maybe stretching the truth a little bit to fit in. One day when 3 classmates show up on her doorstep to kind of call her out in her lie, she takes them to the museum her mother's a curator for and essentially lights a lamp there to hopefully help kind of keep her reputation. In lighting this lamp, she accidentally lets out the Sleeper, who is an ancient demon set upon destruction and essentially freezes time in both her mother and her classmates, and it's up to Arusha to basically save them and save the day. This book just again sounds like something right on my alley. I love middle grade, especially centered around mythology, and I've never read a Hindu inspired mythology novel before, and I've heard great things about this, so this is really very much at the top of my TBR pile. I'm also hosting a giveaway over on my Instagram, so be sure to keep your eyes peeled for that and follow me on that channel down below if you're interested in participating. The next book I'm going to talk about is the Proustopia Book Club pick of the month for the month of April, and this month Sasha and I decided to pick something contemporary. Summer's coming, spring's here, let's switch things up in the Proustopia Book Club. So we decided to pick up Emergency Contact, which I have been seeing all over Instagram and the internet, and it has just appealed to me on so many different levels. First off, the cover is incredible, but the other thing that totally sold me on the story is that it's set in Austin. This is a contemporary love story following 2 main characters. One of our main characters moves to Austin to go to college, which means she was going to my university, which again just adds a lot of layers of interest. She's going there because she wants to be a writer and explore those avenues. And we also follow another main character who lives and works in Austin. He works at a cafe and is kind of down on his luck right now, doesn't have a lot of money, doesn't have a lot of progress towards his dream of becoming a director, and he's just kind of in a tough spot. These 2 people meet and they have an incredibly awkward encounter, but they do exchange information and they begin a relationship very much centered around texting and having a safe space with each other digitally. This sounds really, really great. I hear this book is super cute. Again, the Austin setting definitely sold me, and I really love the element of a digital romance because I feel like that's very much, you know, how a lot of modern romances start. So excited to read and review this book for you guys this month. The next book I'm going to talk about is the book I'm currently reading, and that is Wild Magic by Tamara. I feel like I've said her name wrong my entire life. But I picked this book up after reading Tempest and Slaughter last month, which features Aram as a young student growing up going through magic school, but this book features Aram as a hot, hunky mage, which is 100% why I picked up this series. This is a older series by Tamara that came out in the 90s. It's very much beloved and not one that I've read. It follows our main character. In the first book, she's 13 and she has incredible powers with animals. She can communicate with them, and I believe she becomes an apprentice, and we kind of see her grow up into her powers and to her magic. And apparently there's an incredibly slow burning romance, which probably means I'm gonna marathon all 4 books this month. They're all really, really short. I picked up the first one. I'm about to buy the rest of the 3. I'm 60 pages in, loving it so far. So glad to be reading this. So glad that she's releasing more books because God bless. The next book that's on my list is probably, I keep saying most anticipated book of the year, but this one probably is like the #1. And it is the next book in the Shattered Realms series by Cinna Williams Chima. Obviously, this is the 2nd book. The 3rd book comes out April 2nd. It's pre-ordered, it's coming, and as soon as it comes, I'm reading it. I'm not doing anything. I'm reading that book, and that's all I'm doing. No one bother me, no one text me, no one call me. But of course, the book is called Stormcaster. I'll set this book down because this is Shadowcaster. And it is the 3rd book to her Shattered Realms series, which takes place after the 7 Realms series, set in the same world but following new characters. It's so good. I can't wait to read it in like 2 days and be really sad for the next 12 months as I wait for the next one. But yeah, I can't even articulate very well how excited I am for this book and to read it this month. The next book that's on my list is Everlast by Neil Shusterman. As you guys know, I've recently read Sight and Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman and wanted to revisit some books that I read growing up from him that I really enjoyed, as I feel like I might actually like them more as an adult. This is a novel set in purgatory. It follows two young teens who've died and entered this weird in-between space called Everlast. It only has kids in it, and essentially they are not wanting to pass on peacefully. They want to fight to re-enter their lives, and we follow them through this strange world and also trying to enter the world that they originally came from. I read this series when I was in middle school. I liked it. I want to reread it, hence why it's on my TBR. Next up, I have Obsidian by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. You guys know how much I loved Illuminae and Gemina, so obviously the third book came out. I jumped on it. It was going to be read, so excited to pick it up. This is a super fast-paced science fiction action story set mostly in space, and it is told in an unusual format of emails and manuscripts, but it's actually effective. I usually hate things like that, but I really feel like it works so well in this series. And yeah, this is a very anticipated book for a lot of people out there, including myself, but I definitely want to get to it this month. And lastly, as I kind of mentioned at the beginning of the video, I really want to try to read the rest of the quartet by Tamara, Wild Magic, but the entire quartet maybe this month as well. They're all pretty short, so I feel like I might be able to do it. We'll see. Alrighty guys, that is my April TBR. Let me know down below some books you really hope to get to this month, as I would love to know, and I'll see you guys soon with another video soon. Goodbye!